So speaking of things I never thought I'd make a video about, Diablo Immortal is coming out June 2nd for mobile and PC. So yeah, crazy enough, there's actually a new Diablo game coming out June 2nd for PC now, and that is Diablo Immortal. I guess that whole, hey,
do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
wasn't the end-all be-all because they actually took people's word for it. Oh wait, all these grown men who've been loving playing Diablo for so long actually don't sit and stare at their phones for 300 hours a day on this little tiny thing with their little tiny... Get over that. They moved it on the PC. I really haven't been following this a whole lot because it was going to be a mobile game, and I had no interest in it at all. None. Now that it's coming to PC, where adults play video games, now I'm interested. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this right here today. So I'm going to make this video in a perspective of somebody who's watching this as if they know as much about this as I do. So right here, this game takes place between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. That's roughly when the story of this is. So as with Diablo 2 Resurrected, they say a lot of community feedback has been imperative and super important with this because there has been a reoccurring piece that everybody wants it on PC and they don't want to play it on their little tiny cell phone screen. So that's good that they're taking community feedback for this. And what is important to note here, probably one of the most important things, a reason that I'm probably going to try it. I mean, why not? Free to play for Windows PC upon launch in open beta. So from day one, it's going to be free to play. I'm sure they're going to have like buy these skins and do all this stuff. I'll have to look into it more, but hey, free to play. Why not try it? Next up here, upon launch, it'll be the largest Diablo game they've ever released. So that's definitely a good thing, having more areas and more zones, more unique encounters and all that kind of good stuff, giving you more things to generally do and see. So I haven't viewed this yet. They got the full trailer right here for the PC announcement trailer. We're going to take a look at this real quick because I have not seen this yet either. Very bright and colorful, I see. Not a good start on the graphics wise, but what you gonna do, huh? Definitely bright, colorful, like kitty looking, but I mean, I could get over it if it's a good game. So there you go, pre-register and available on June 2nd. The graphics look fine, you know, they're not going to look great because it's developed for a cell phone game and then they're just kind of porting it over to PC or whatever. But I mean, I've been playing Diablo 2 forever. Graphics aren't necessarily the most important. You kind of got to get your hands on it and see how it plays. This is probably one of the biggest and probably the most important thing, these bold white words right here. Upon the PC launch, it'll be fully cross-play and cross-progression supported, meaning you could technically be sitting on the can playing your game and then walk downstairs and get on your computer and then go ahead and play on your PC. And hypothetically, you could do that. You could be sitting in the backseat of a car playing it. You could be whatever, sitting in the doctor's office waiting to play it, come back home and play the same exact character and play with your friends even, then on PC as well. So this is an important part to how it will operate on computer. This WASD for the essentially arrows to move around here. So it's going to be tough. It sounds like it does support controller, but it sounds like it almost, not that it has to have a controller for PC, but it's definitely sounds preferred based upon just the way this paragraph right here. If anytime they're going to use this WSD directional controls or whatever for the way it works, that's kind of the gist that I'm getting from that anyways. But then it does say down here, of course, you can still use your mouse keyboard to explore loot and keep Hell's Nightmares at bay. So we'll have to see exactly how that does manage out. And they did actually put a blog post out specifically about this that we might possibly look at here in a little bit. So just kind of that it is going along the theme of this is going to be, it seems anyways, more like Diablo 3 than Diablo 2 a lot. I mean, they got a Crusader, a Demon Hunter, a Monk, and a Wizard I mean, that's all classes from Diablo 3, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken because I couldn't stand Diablo 3, but these look like all classes from Diablo 3, but it's free, so why wouldn't you try it out, right? So now down here it says it has 8 expansive zones, so I'm assuming zones are essentially like Diablo 2 acts. So so it has 8 zones, so that is cool. That sounds like it depends how it's set up. It sounds like a large amount anyways. And then kind of just stumbling through this next paragraph here, there's going to be dangerous live events where all batter-hungry adventurers on the same server can team up, defy those odds. And once you're ready to tackle the Heliquary, our 8-player raid experience. So there's 2 different types of experiences there with everybody on the server, or coming into like an 8-person game essentially for these raid type experiences. Just kind of explained right there. An important thing right here, down in the Q&A stuff, it's kind of like the difference between open beta and mobile, what'll happen, you know, after the PC open beta is over. Essentially, all it's saying is they're essentially done with the PC version, but they don't want to say that they're done with the PC version. Essentially, all your progress and anything that you buy in the game, I don't know why anyone would buy anything in a game like this, but that's what they're trying to make money on, a free game to sell stuff to you. But anything that you buy or progress, it'll all stay. But the thing is it seems like just like the UI, the controls, they're gonna be shifting that depending on if it's needed, if there's any issues. So they're just throwing beta on it just in case they mess something up essentially, or something doesn't work exactly as intended. And the very last one here, how will crossplay and cross progression function between PC and mobile? I mean, it's literally exactly the way that you would think it would here, just for this frequently asked question, just to clear anything up for anybody here. So if you start playing on PC, you create an account or sign into your Battle.net, create the Diablo Immortal account, and alternatively for PC or for mobile, excuse me, you do the exact same thing. You just log into your Battle.net account, create an account for Diablo Immortal, whatever, and then you can just log in to whichever one, whether you're on PC or whether you're on mobile. It sounds easy enough. Now, they did make a post here making Diablo Immortal for PC, and they do go over, the different ways, pretty much a lot of the controls and the UI and the action, the live game HUD, excuse me. I'm going to put links to both of these posts down in the description also, by the way. I'm not going to read all this, but it just kind of shows you real quick how it's set up for the controller or whatever, or for the keyboard, the WSAD, see here, for forward, backwards, left, and right. And then you must be able to look around with the mouse like this across the screen, or to move. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but when you come down to a little bit further here, like the HUD right here, you can see the picture right here where my hand is moving around. That's the cell phone version, because obviously the icons need to be bigger for people to be able to fit our big fat thumbs on the buttons. But when you get a screen, you want to actually see more of what's going on. So you see this is smaller than this is right here. And these buttons over here are smaller as well, because you don't want them taking up the whole screen if you don't want to. You want to see more of the game and more of the action. Now this post here, as you can see, it's just kind of going over, showing how this is going to look on PC. Pretty much similar to exactly how it is on mobile, just with some little tweaks here and there. And then obviously going over kind of how the keyboard is going to work and stuff. And you can read about this at the link in the description if you are interested in this at all.